Nova Southeastern University, the 45th Annual Commencement Exercises. Greetings, the trustees of Nova Southeastern University, the president, faculty, and the faculty bid you welcome to this joyous celebration. For the conferral of degrees upon those whom the university honors for learning and diligence, and upon those whom the university charges to turn scholarships into service. Will the audience please rise and join the faculty and graduates in singing the Star-Spangled Banner? The words can be found in the front of the program. Please be seated. It's my privilege and honor to introduce to you Dr. Ralph Rogers, Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. Dr. Rogers.
We welcome all of you who have joined us to honor the members of the class of 2014 today. There are several distinguished groups seated on the platform today. At this time, I would like to recognize the members of Nova Southeastern University's Board of Trustees who are with us today on the platform. Dr. Sylvia Flores, the Grand Marshal of today's ceremony. And Charlie Palmer. I would also like to introduce the President and Chief Executive Officer of Nova Southeastern University, Dr. George Hanbury. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Dr. Don Rosenblum, Dean of the Farquhar College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Eric Ackerman, Dean of the Graduate School of Computer and Information Sciences. Dr. Honggang Yang, Dean of the Graduate School of Humanities and Social Sciences. Dr. Prestonton Jones, Dean of the H. Wayne Huizenga School of Business and Entrepreneurship. Dr. Kimberly Durham, Dean of the Institute for the Study of Human Service, Health, and Justice. And Dr. Richard Dodge, Dean of the Oceanographic Center. Thank you. A university becomes great not because of buildings or athletic accomplishment, but because it develops an outstanding student body through the guidance of its faculty. Also sitting on the stage behind me today are distinguished members of our faculty and administrators. Please rise and be recognized. Thank you. You may now be seated. Also assisting us today for the hearing impaired is Ms. Lisa Hendrickson and Ms. Becky Blassamham from Nationwide Interpreter Resources Incorporated. And now I am privileged to ask President George Hamberry to open these commencement exercises.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers, and thank you to the class of 2014. You know, when I was informed that I would be the only speaker this afternoon, Dr. Rogers gave me the admonition right before coming out that being a speaker at a commencement is kind of like being a corpse at a funeral. You don't expect them to say much, but you can't have an event without it. So I guess I'm the person that's going to be the corpse at this particular celebration. So I will keep my comments short, because paraphrasing Abraham Lincoln, little will know what we say here, but a lot will know what you do here on this wonderful celebration, recognizing your hard work through a public ceremony, witnessing your academic achievements. It is my distinct pleasure as Nova Southeastern University's 6th president to welcome all the family members, the friends, the loved ones, and the graduates to give public witness for the work that you've done. You know, a couple of weeks ago, well, it wasn't even a couple of weeks, was the 70th anniversary of the Normandy invasion. 70 years. Now, I know no one in this audience, at least graduates, could say that they were a veteran of the Normandy invasion. But I would like for all of those individuals who I know are in the audience, and many of our graduates who have served or continue to serve in our armed services, including faculty, would you please stand and let us recognize the service that they've done to this nation. Each of you are your own individual and unique path. Whether you go on as an entrepreneur in business, you go on to further graduate studies, you establish your own career, you begin to do postgraduate work and research. But as Max Dupree said, you can't be where you need to be if you stay where you are. So your years here at NSU have been where you needed to be. But now it's time for you to go where you want. Today is about you and the challenging and inspiring aspects that hopefully our faculty have provided you and helped you to unleash your potential to lead your lives instead of being led. Many of you have a favorite professor or two, but it's the cumulative aspects that the members of our faculty have been able to accomplish and help you establish who you are. So I'd like to reiterate what Dr. Rogers had indicated, and recognize the faculty. So graduates, would you please recognize the members of the faculty behind me? I'd also like to recognize an individual and a group of people who have been entertaining graduates for the last 25 years. Under the direction of Dr. Mark Kavanaugh, the Nova Southeastern University Orchestra has done 25 years at 6 commencements a year to thousands and thousands of graduates as they marched in and out of the auditorium. Let's recognize Dr. Kavanaugh and the Nova Southeastern University Orchestra. As the 2013-2014 school year comes to a close, this is the 5th commencement that we've undertaken. One more commencement to go. At the end of this commencement season, 7,000 people will have walked across this stage. Yes. They, like you, will join 162,000 alumni from all over the globe. This year's graduating class comes from over 79 different countries. From countries such as Brazil, Nicaragua, Jamaica. I figured that would get a rise. India, Spain, Texas, New York, California, and all the states in the nation. New York and Fort Lauderdale, Sunrise, Plantation, or little old Davie. Our oldest graduate this year, 72 years young. An example that you're never too old for an education, and recognizing the value of an education regardless of the years. Since you've been here in the last several years, and as many of you are aware, Nova Southeastern University has a set of core values. One of those core values is community. And this class has demonstrated their efforts to give back, to be a meaningful difference, and to recognize what it is to leave a legacy. That it's not just for yourself, but it is the betterment for the common good. We have been recognized of more than the 4,500 universities in this nation, not only as a doctoral research university of high research, but Carnegie has recognized us as community engaged. Of those 4,500 universities, only 37 universities in the nation have a dual designation of high research by Carnegie and community engaged. And Nova Southeastern University is one of those 37. Give yourselves an applause. For instance, you and those 7,000 graduates who will walk the stage have put in over 12,000 hours of community service. And if an economic value was placed upon those 12,000 hours, it would amount to more than $5 million given back to the communities that we served. In my opinion, you are indeed the embodiment of NSU. You are one NSU. By focusing on your goals for a worthy and progressive realization of a worthy goal, you indeed will be successful. And giving back to the community, hopefully, even after you graduate, will be part of that. I mentioned community, but one last word I'd like to mention is another core value: integrity. And if you take any one word from this commencement, I hope it will be that as a lasting one. Recently, I was reading an article that was published by the Conference Board CEO Challenge 2014. It's a magazine for the world's top CEOs, and it includes every country in the globe, from Asia to Europe, the United States, Central and South America, Africa, Australia. The number one criteria or qualification globally that's sought after by organizations and CEOs globally now, of 17 qualities, the number one, without any argument, one word: integrity. So I challenge you to live up to the admonitions of Shakespeare, who gave Polonius his words of advice to his son Laertes. This above all, to thine own self be true. As it is the night today, thou canst not be false to any man. Now, you don't have to have a big job. You don't have to be the president or the CEO. You don't have to be the entrepreneur of the year. And you don't have to be Jacques Cousteau to be a leader. But you do have to have integrity. Because you see, integrity is like a mirror. Once broken, it's almost impossible or difficult, if ever, to put back together. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat for you and stand before you as your president and tell you that it's going to be easy going after today. Life indeed is difficult and faced with challenges, but you've been prepared to meet those challenges, and you will face occupations and ideas and creations that have never been thought of. And job opportunities will come about that were never even in existence when you started your education. Not just from grade 1, but possibly when you started at Nova Southeastern University. And challenges and temptations will come your way. People will risk their integrity to compromise your integrity. So as I leave you, I hope you keep your aim high above your reach. And I hope you'll continue to be bold and innovative as you have been, and curious as you were when you came here. And I hope, most of all, that you'll maintain your integrity. It is your most precious asset. Now, I was a pretty talkative corpse, but that's the way I'm ending it. Have a wonderful celebration to you and your parents and your loved ones. And before I leave, let's give everyone in the audience who's come to support you a big round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, President Hanberry.